What's going on? Mitchell Renz, Tom Downey. You're watching NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Today's show, we got the top destinations for Philip Rivers, who is more than likely going to become a free agent. He's a veteran quarterback. We talked about Philip Rivers' future a little bit on NFL Daily on our rumors section, Tom. Jay Glazer had to clarify what he said, though.
Yeah, so Glazer was on Colin Cowherd and said basically, they're going to move on from him. And he put it more as this is what I think is going to happen. He's the guy taken out of context, and that's what I think is going to happen. I wasn't trying to report that as it's a done deal because, it is January. I don't think they've made that decision, quite frankly. Other reporters have said all options are on the table, so we'll include the Chargers on this list. But Rivers is aging. The Chargers, I think more than ever, are ready to move on, moving into a new stadium in the near future. And they have a chance in the top 10 to get a new franchise quarterback. And for Rivers, that puts him in a strange spot, Mitch, as to what does his future really hold.
So we'll get in now to our top 6 teams for Philip Rivers. Number 6 on our list, it is the Chicago Bears. And if you're the Chicago Bears, you're like, okay, we were 12-4 in 2018. We are a good team. All we really need is a quarterback. And if I'm Philip Rivers, you can be in a great situation and win right away. Mitchell Trubisky, can we all agree he's not the answer, Tom?
I don't think that he is. It's also a strange situation because the Bears front office has tied themselves to Trubisky. For most NFL franchises and organizations, if you're the GM, if you're in charge, you don't get to pick 2 different quarterbacks, especially when you trade up for one into number 2 overall and you tell everyone that can hear you, this is our guy, he's our franchise guy. Now, before his 4th year is even up, you're like, yeah, we're done? That means you missed pretty badly. Why would I let you pick my new franchise quarterback if you're the owner? So that's why you're kind of in a weird situation. I don't know about you, Mitch, but just for 1 year only, I would take Philip over Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh, I could not agree with you more.
Options.
And I mean, if you're, you also got to think, okay, we took Trubisky over Watson, over Mahomes, but I like that you already said it. You took my point that, I'll take Philip Rivers over Mitchell Trubisky in 2020, and you can look at their 2019 stats here. I get it. Philip Rivers had more interceptions. He was also asked to do a whole lot more. The most important stat that is on there, Tom, and I'm glad you added it, yards per attempt. Nobody respects Mitchell Trubisky whatsoever, and nobody's going to respect the Bears' running game, especially when you're only throwing 6.1 yards per attempt. Philip Rivers is the better option.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky spot here just because of Chicago. If you bring in Philip, you have maybe a year or 2 max, and I think he is on the decline.
There's no doubt.
So at that point, do the Bears go, we know...
But you're also the Bears, and you're in win-now mode.
We know what
be.
Rivers is. Maybe we just roll with Trubisky. He's the guy that we took. We hope that he gets better. This new coaching staff helps him out. And maybe we draft somebody late. So I like this idea in a bubble, talent-wise. I don't know if the Bears are going to take that approach. And I think for Chicago, because you've committed so much to Trubisky, you've invested so much in him, maybe it makes sense to give him another shot since Rivers, in the end, doesn't actually fix anything for you. Yep. It might fix it for a year or 2. Beyond that, you're right back where you started.
So pick a quarterback. Type R for Philip Rivers. Type T for Mitchell Trubisky. So how about this? I know a lot of people actually don't like Philip Rivers. Mm-hmm. He's a little fiery. Do you guys like Philip Rivers? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Tom, you give your answer, and then we'll give some shout-outs.
I do like him. I'm typing in my 1 for yes. I think he's a fiery quarterback. He's different than most. I like what he brings in terms of personality. I know how that can be grating at times, I think, for some. But my answer is yes. I do like him, even though he's certainly not going to be a franchise quarterback at this point or a Hall of Fame quarterback when his career's over either.
So if you don't like Philip Rivers, maybe I can give you guys something that you do like. So do you like Chat Sports? Every single person, please type Y. And if you do like Chat Sports and you're not already subscribed to our channel, please do. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Click that big red button. Turn on those noties so you know exactly when we go live. And if you're typing your N for no, I will find you.
That's kind of dark there, Mitch.
I will find you. Well,
okay.
It's not dark with all these lights on. Subscribe to Chat Sports. Y for yes. Let's now get into our 5th team on our list. It's the Tennessee Titans. And I hope the Tennessee Titans bring back Ryan Tannehill. I absolutely think that he deserves to come back. But it's the NFL. It's a business. I can guarantee, though, they're not going to bring back Marcus Mariota.
It's funny. If you had asked me this in October, I probably would have had Tennessee in the top 2 or so.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was closer to home for Phillip. Like the quarterback situation was a gigantic mess. Tannehill comes in, and at least now I think is worthy of a franchise tag for a year and see how it goes after that. We'll see what happens with Mariota, but Tennessee's issue is if you retain Ryan Tannehill, what's the point of adding Phillip Rivers at that point? It doesn't actually do anything for you. If anything, you go look for a younger option. So if Tannehill leaves for some reason, Tennessee moves way up. That's why we wanted to include him. But as of right now, with Tannehill likely coming back in some capacity, it's not an ideal fit.
I mean, I will say this, though. If you're Phillip Rivers and the Titans, for some reason, don't bring back Ryan Tannehill, you got a great running game in Derrick Henry, who I think that they're going to bring back, and you have a very talented receiving core. That's very appealing to me. But in 10 starts, yes, he played in 12 games, but he started in only 10. Ryan Tannehill was great, and I don't care that he didn't put up a lot of numbers in the playoffs. You went into New England, you beat Tom Brady, you took care of Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, and yeah, you actually gave the Chiefs a run for their money as well. The Titans would be smart. They should bring back Ryan Tannehill. So today's show is all around what team Phillip Rivers will play for in 2020. If you watch this on YouTube, you might get hit with an ad break. I'm going to make this the pinned comment on this video. So what team will Phillip Rivers play for in 2020? Let us know in the comments section. Top 4, the Carolina Panthers. I saw Corrupt88 saying it. Carolina Panthers, they're number 4 on our list. It's because Kyle Allen, Will Grier, not the answer. It really comes down to Cam Newton. That's it.
If Newton's back, it obviously makes no sense for him whatsoever. It is also a homecoming of sorts for Phillip Rivers, who played at NC State, so it's a bit of going back home there.
Quarterback you.
Sure, I guess, if you include transfers. For Carolina, if Newton's back, like you said, it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
If Newton leaves, look, you're off the Kyle Allen train, right? You're back on my side there.
Yes.
Will Grier ain't it either. I know that he's Will the Thrill, but
great
boy, that was his appearance later this year was anything but thrilling. I don't think either of those guys are the long-term answer. So it comes down to, what do you do with Cam Newton? Do you trade him? Do you cut him? Do you move on? Between the two, I'm going to take Cam Newton. I'm going to give him one more year because he's already under contract, and I think that I know I can win with him as I've seen before.
See, the thing is, though, with Cam, and I think we kind of saw it with Marcus Mariota a little bit, as soon as he stopped running, Marcus Mariota lost his juice. I'm worried if Cam's injured, they don't let him run. He's not good enough, I think, at this point in his career to just be a passer.
We saw better passing before the injuries added up in 2018.
We did.
That percent,
but he hasn't thrown a touchdown, Tom, in his last 6 games.
He was hurt the entire. So it's all about health in the end.
Okay.
I agree.
All right, so you got to pick a quarterback. Phillip Rivers, type P. Cam Newton, type C. Tom, who are you going with? You're going to type your P for Phillip Rivers? You're going to type your C for Cam Newton? We'll give some shout-outs.
I'm going C with Cam Newton. He's younger. I know the injuries are a factor. If I go with Rivers, I'm not convinced I'm getting anything better, so I'm just going to stick with Cam Newton, who frankly is actually pretty cheap for Carolina, and probably would be cheaper than Phillip would be, so I'm going C here.
So Tom's going to go C. I'm going to go C. And then it looks like Austin, Brunel, Jose. Holy man, there's a lot of C's flowing in here. I think everyone should go with C.
C's have it.
We also got something for you guys, too. Okay, BetDSI, today's sponsor. They're the internet's #1 sports book. If you want to bet on the Super Bowl, if you want to bet on NFL prop bets, heck, you want to bet on NBA games, BetDSI, the internet's #1 sports book. The promo code that you guys see on screen, it's going to get you guys set up with a 120% deposit bonus. Just go to chatsports.com/bet. And if you want to know what Tom bet on, just ask him. We got all these prop bets out there. A lot of deposit money, chatsports.com. Chatsports just put the link there as well. And like Noah Stanley said in the comments, free money. Take advantage of it. BetDSI. Number 3 on our list, the Los Angeles Chargers.
It's still plausible, and I think here for LA, it's a similar situation to Carolina, right?
Sure.
They don't know if they have if the veteran is their guy long term. They're in position to take a franchise quarterback, and if Rivers wants to come back for one more year, maybe you do the Eli Manning thing with him.
Yeah.
Say, hey, one more year, we'll give you the grand retirement tour and whatever. You'll still be, as we play in our new SoFi Stadium for a little bit there. I like this idea for LA. I also don't know if Rivers wants to be a backup. And that's a big problem here because for most of these teams we're discussing, it's to be a starter. He's, without a doubt, a top 50 quarterback. That's not even a discussion. But does Rivers want to go be a backup somewhere? I'm not convinced
Or
he
does he
wants
want
to.
to babysit a rookie when he's already got 9 kids?
Exactly. Eli Manning didn't want to be backup. That's why he retired. So for Rivers, it's the same type of discussion, and I'm not sure if it's going to be a, you know what, I am down to be a backup. If it does, maybe the ideal scenario for LA, what if you take Tua, give him plenty of time to heal, bring back Rivers for one more true year, and then hand the reins over after that?
All right, Tom, it's time to get in now to our top 2 teams for Phillip Rivers. The Indianapolis Colts, I saw a bunch of people spamming it when we asked the original question, the pinned comment. There's a lot that makes sense here with the Colts. Dan Patrick said Rivers could go there. Frank Wright, the connections. This one makes a lot of sense. I think the top 2 teams, by far, are the favorites. And I know, obvious, but it's the Colts and then our number 1 team.
I am aware of the connection. I'm aware of how it makes some sense for the Indianapolis Colts. I also don't know if they're going to go out and add a veteran quarterback. I know that they are looking for the answer, and Jacoby Brissett, frankly, isn't it. I don't really think he ends up being the guy in the end. The problem is that they've paid Brissett to be a low-end starter. His cap hit next year is over $21 million. Now, you can cut him if you want, but you're still eating $12.5 million. The way they structured that deal was almost an early franchise tag, and we spread some of the money out over those 2 years. The way his deal is structured and the type of quarterback that Jacoby Brissett is makes me think the best route for the Colts is to bring him back and draft somebody. And find someone, let Brissett be your veteran stopgap option, which is really all Rivers is right now.
Yep.
So instead of committing upwards of $35 million and having an upgrade at quarterback, but really by how much, not enough as far as I'm concerned, then you can keep Brissett for a year and draft somebody. Player-wise, I still prefer Rivers at this point in his career, but long-term for the Colts situation, I think I kind of prefer Brissett.
So we'll ask you guys. Phillip Rivers, Jacoby Brissett, type 17 for Rivers, that's his number, or type 7 for Brissett, that's his number. Between you and me, Tom, I think the only way that I would ever want Phillip Rivers on my team is if you are a team maybe like the Bears who think you are a quarterback away from being a playoff, heck, Super Bowl caliber team. I don't think the Colts are there. I'm going to type my 7.
If Brissett was a free agent, I think the Colts have a really strong argument for being number 1. Because of their exact situation, I'm not as convinced it makes a ton of sense. But it does, of course, make some sense. I think there's reasoning behind it. I just have some doubts.
So pick a quarterback. Phillip Rivers, type 17. Jacoby Brissett, type 7. We'll give a special shout-out now to today's sponsor, chatsports.com/flowers. Who out there, type me in the comments, has a significant other? Who out there has a daughter, a mom? Heck, honestly, I'd be okay getting some cookies for Valentine's Day. Chatsports.com/flowers. I'll let you tell your theory.
So if you get the cookie package, what ends up happening, at least for you, is you are able to get some of them. It is a gift, of course, for your lovely wife or girlfriend or whomever, but you also get some of it. So that way, you're also getting a little reward for being a good husband or boyfriend. It's pat yourself on the shoulder. It's smart. It's a good deal for yourself there, and you can still get flowers if you want to. 15% off everything at Pro Flowers. It's chatsports.com/flowers. Pro tip, if you guys do it today, you don't have to pay for the urgent rush shipping. You'll save money on that as well.
Shout out to Austin, Jordan, James, Corrupt. I'm going to be looking for you guys. Get this deal for your loved ones. Chatsports.com/flowers. The number 1 team for the Phillip Rivers destinations. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the 14th overall pick is tough for the Buccaneers because you're stuck with Jameis. You don't know what to do. It's a tough place to draft a quarterback. Winston's a free agent. Nobody wants him. But Arians has praised him.
Well, people want him. I just don't know what the contract ends up looking like.
Who wants Jameis Winston? Nobody.
Winston's a top 50 quarterback. I think it's easy. He is a younger version of Phillip Rivers, actually. Their numbers have some similarities.
There is nobody that's like Jameis Winston. You don't throw for 30 interceptions.
Fine, a younger, more extreme version then. We'll get to the comparison in a second. But for the Bucs, Winston is a free agent.
Yes.
So if they don't bring him back, they desperately need someone for right now. And I don't believe Bruce Arians came out of retirement to coach up a young guy in year 1, 2, and 3. Now, what maybe makes some sense is if you let Winston leave with the numbers.
Noah Stanley's comment. You see that?
Kind of similar, in all honesty. Rivers completed a higher percent, fewer yards, but the touchdown-interception ratio is actually kind of similar. Both of them made some boneheaded mistakes this year. If you bring in Rivers, give him a year or 2, then maybe you can also draft somebody. Maybe then it makes some sense. And the flip side for Winston, if you bring him back and you take someone in the first 50, 55, 60 picks, he's going to be like, hold up, what now? He's not going to like that. You can't alienate a young quarterback. You can do it to an older guy because he's where he has a limited amount of time. But if this is the route the Bucs go and don't bring back Winston, I think Rivers, who Bruce Arians has praised before, maybe it was Coach Speak, maybe it wasn't, I think it makes sense.
Okay, so pick a quarterback here. Phillip Rivers or Jameis Winston. I see a lot of people typing eating that W, and I love it. So type PR for Phillip Rivers or type JW for Jameis Winston. Tom, you give your answer, and we'll give some shout-outs. That was tough.
I don't...
Who are you going to pick?
Do I need it for 1 year or for multiple years?
How about, all right, for 1 year, who are you going with?
Rivers.
Okay, multiple years, Jameis?
Winston. Yeah, because I think Rivers is about at the cliff in terms of his NFL career. It's about to fall off, and he's going to regress pretty badly. For 1 year, give me Rivers. If I need someone for like 3 years, he's going to turn the ball over a lot. But I'm going to take Winston.
Jacob says Jameis Winston.
Feel great about it.
Mark Kearns also says Jameis Winston. So I made this the pinned comment on this video, okay? What team will Phillip Rivers play for in 2020? I want you to go to the pinned comment, and I want you to get your votes in. The biggest reason why I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he just moved his family out of San Diego into Florida to be closer to his family, and I've never moved 9 kids, but I've also moved just one person. That was me. That took a lot of work. I think Phillip Rivers is going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Tom.
Okay.